Hey everybody, my name is Bo Sanders. I had something really interesting happen last weekend that I wanted to share with you and get your thoughts on. So we were doing Sunday school class, and it was the last class of this semester, and so I decided to talk about, on the final day, we talked about final things, sort of end times stuff, and I thought it would be an interesting experiment to see in my progressive / liberal church, this mainline church that I'm a pastor at, how it differed from the evangelical or charismatic church that I grew up with and am so familiar with. And so I thought it'd be a fun experiment. So I did a little pop quiz, and I asked my church to list things they associate with the end times, things that they expect or can anticipate. And they did amazingly well. I was actually more than impressed. They got all of the big ones. And I didn't know that was going to happen. But I did have a suspicion that there would be one really vital thing that they wouldn't get. And that is indeed what happened. So they got all the other stuff: wars, environmental disaster, all that stuff. They even got the Antichrist, all of that. But the one thing they didn't get was that the gospel needs to be preached in every tongue to every tribe in creation, and then the end will come. This comes from the Gospel of Matthew. And in my background, which was with the Christian and Missionary Alliance, this really influenced us, that the gospel needed to be translated into every known language. And so we actually kept track of unreached people groups. But I didn't know if that was a part of other people's experience or anticipation of their eschatology, their stuff about the end. And so for all of the stuff they listed, and they got every major thing, they didn't get this. And so I was really pleased that I anticipated that correctly. But it was weird because in my preparation for leading that class, there was this weird news item where this missionary had gotten killed, and it had made national news that this missionary had gotten killed going to try and translate the gospel into for an unreached people group, into an unknown language. And so I knew that this would be something that was on everybody's mind. So one of the things that I did with that is, we often talk about how obviously conservatives and liberals, or however you want to parse that up, right and left, Democrat, Republican, we obviously believe different things. There's no doubt about that. The evangelicals and mainliners, they believe different things. What I wanted to expose is that we also believe those things differently. It's not just that we believe different things, we believe them differently. And so for every issue, whether it is abortion or immigration, there are people who are passionate on either side of that issue. But I'm not sure we have a single thing for which we would leave our country, our comfort, our career, learn another language in order to convince people of something. I don't know that the liberals or progressives, mainliners, have anything that demands that level of zealousness. Now, when I ran that theory past my crew, some people were like, yeah, good, because that's the type of religion that makes the world worse. That's what we're trying to avoid. So good. I'm glad we don't have anything for which we would do something like this. But other people, were trying to find an issue for which it would compel that kind of passion and zealousness. And I can't think of one. Because let's say even if you take the abortion issue, there are people who are as passionate about it as against it. So those kind of cancel each other out. So I can't find anything on this side of the ledger that equals the passion for which unreached people groups and translating the gospel into new languages rivals. I would love if you could think of something like that, but and I'm open to being wrong. I just wanted to say that for my little transition that I have been able to make in my spiritual journey, I have noticed that we not only believe different things, but we believe them differently. I just wanted to know what you thought about that. Let me know. I look forward to your responses.